Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a announcement video. I am Sylphin. Oh boy, I am very proud to bring you my latest creation, my Paragon tutorial screenplay. This screenplay describes the dialogue, text blocks, voice lines, scene changes, animations, and other visual and audio effects, defining the player's experience as they walk through the tutorial for Paragon. It aims to be as clear and descriptive as possible, with the intent of providing novice and new players a solid foundation in the mechanics, content knowledge needed to be successful in Paragon. Use this screenplay as a foundation to create a helpful experience for new players. Ensure that people who play this game for the first time receive a legitimate helping hand while learning the complexities of the MOBA genre. New players should be welcomed by the thoughtfulness of the game developers, and the screenplay hopes to provide a basis for that expression. Please use this as a stepping stone for creating a necessary part of the Paragon experience. Obviously, this is intended for Epic Games and, for their use and adaptation for a proper, legitimate, strong, substantial tutorial. Add a little legal disclaimer so that I forego all rights and content privileges and basically just prohibit myself for suing Epic Games if they use any of this. I mean, they have told me in the past, about that kind of stuff, and as a company they have to be careful, so I totally don't blame them. And it might seem a little ridiculous for me to put this in here, but I put it in there just to help it being a thing. Now, this document is 58 pages long, and I thought of making a video of me walking through every single part of it, speaking it out, pseudo last editing it for the last time. I've gone through it twice now, editing and kind of highlighting sometimes, but not because, anyways, I'm not going to do that, but I will. What I will do is go through the overview and just go through the bare bones, topics. So part one is the basics. That's what the in-game current tutorial is. So we go through here: movement and aiming, the varying platform controls. We have the allied and enemy wells and spawn locations. We have the MOBA structures, the core and inhibitor and towers. We have the lane minions that automatic bush lanes toward enemy core. We have the execution mechanic, gold and hero experience, gold purchases, attribute points and cards, hero experience levels up heroes. We have turret targeting priorities. I got to be a little bit self-consistent here. I do say turret the rest of the rest of the document because they're turrets. That's what they are. Minion support indicator, structure, ability damage immunity, unlocking hero abilities, using and aiming abilities, lane minion aggro mechanics, mechanic, hero ultimate abilities, and hero kill bounties and respawn mechanic. Part 2, we go through the mid lane itemization of the HUD. We have the MOBA map layout to explain that real quick. The card shop and deck selection, attribute points, all the 3 attributes, the stats, attribute point cost, what an attribute point costs, equipping cards, attribute requirements or gold costs, card effects and status. We have the jump pads. We have the mid lane, the structures, the role of the mid lane, just briefly, battlefield attribute point purchasing, hotkeys for that, recall ability, the mechanic, and the fact that you have to use it in safety, exchanging cards, passive and active effects, how that works, and the mechanics behind it, for the fact that you have 4 other teammates, the HUD, allied and enemy hero frames, the minimap, allied and enemy hero icons, general layout card, and gem area, hero stat area, ability damage heroes, kind of what that is for the mid lane and Gideon that you're playing as, and combat strategies for 4 ability damage heroes. Part 3, we have the support role card strategies in the duo lane. We go over the duo lane, 2v2 matchup, Marauder and support, gold share mechanic, Marauder versus support scaling, and last hitting. We have fog walls, consumable cards, wards, gems, unlocking gems, the tiers of gems, the effects of gems, rotations, conditions, and reasons behind doing so, support card types, vision, sustain, and effects, just as 3 kind of types there, and support team fight strategies. Yeah. Part 4, carry role cards strategy, duo lane, the duo lane dynamic, last hitting, and rotation. We have the Marauder archetype, the scaling behind that, playstyle mechanics, early versus late game strategies for Marauders. We have the gold grubbish, which is an economy objective. We have the timings for that, hero experience sharing evenly with nearby allies. I'm probably triggering a lot of you by highlighting everything. I'm sorry about that. Basic attack accuracy, how important that is for Marauders. We have rotations, conditions, and reason for doing that as a Marauder. Marauder fighting strategies with safe positioning as the main damage dealer. We have Marauder cards, basic attack focus, agility dependent, power and attack speed, base penetration and crit, how all those can interact. We have Marauder hero, strong basic attack with good attack speed, scaling as they level up in heroes. And that's part 4. Part 5, we have the offlane roles, heroes, cards, and split pushing. And see, we're going through the roles kind of the most logical way possible. Offlane, we have the 1v1 duel with limited support from your friendly team. We have sustain focused. We have the healing grubbish, a health regen objective, and timings. Lane minion aggro mechanics. We have tank role. Well, obviously that's important when you're dueling 1v1. We have the tank role. We have a high effect that they're based around high effective HP. We have health and armor focused, and absorbs damage and disrupts enemies. That's kind of what their purpose is. We have split pushing, hard pushing structures, when to split push, why to split push. We have tank cards, health and armor, damage mitigation, and offlane heroes. What kind of looks, the difference between a sustain hero in the offlane and damage dealers in the offlane. And also we have combat strategy as well. Strategy in the tank role as well. That's explained in there. Part 6, we have the jungle role, cards, heroes, minions, ganks, and objectives. We have the strong jungle. You start off with largest allied jungle. We have the jungle objective types in mini-map icons. We have sentinel camps. We have guardian camps, the Zetchin Guardian's Shield of Zetchin. We have the Hunter's Guardian and the Hunter's Sight buff. We have the grubbish objectives, map objectives. We have the role of the jungler to farm the jungle, help allied laners, and that there's this unique balance of the two. We have weak jungle, that's the smallest allied jungle. We have Orb Prime, the timings for Orb Prime, Prime Helix Guardian, how it's a robust team objective. We have the Prime Helix buff, and what that does. River Grubbishes, the timings for those, the types of those, the buffs, what they do, and the locations that they spawn in. We have Fangtooth, the timings for that, the minimap icon for that, the strategy, and the buffs. Ganks for junglers. We have definition of ganks. We have the benefits of doing that and the strategy behind. So jungle cards, jungle specific cards, sustain versus damage and or damage cards. I mean, the strategy behind equipping those on somebody like a jungler. We have late game strategy, which pretty much consists of grouping up at that point, and the team fight strategy, mainly focusing on enemy prioritization for a lot of stereotypical junglers. Part 7, we have deck building strategies, affinities, cards, gems, and deck structures, which is a big one. We have the collection tab, mainly dealing with the deck submenu. We have the default decks, how they work, custom deck slots, and purchasing and acquiring more. We have currency. We have reputation versus coins, and kind of what those grant us, which is obviously really important. 5 affinities, the 5 affinities, and their descriptions. what they're all about. We have deck building themes. You can build a deck for hero to be hero specific versus role specific. Deck building process, so how you select 2 affinities, selecting 12 cards, and 2 kind of strategies: 3 early, 3 mid, 3 late, and 3 optional, or more of a 4, 4, and 4 card strategy. We have early game cards that are, are lower cost cards, mid game cards, medium cost cards, late game cards, high cost cards, etc., etc. Selecting gems. So the 3 separate gem trees, all of the gem tiers. We have multiple gems per tier, 6 maximum gems in a deck, and not all slots need to be filled, which is a key thing to know. And tier 13, tier 19, and 12 and 25 gems have stats. Gems have stats, and simply naming decks. Part 8, finally, right at the last one, we have starting a match, the draft screen, team composition, movement speed, ping system, and healthy mindsets. We have the play tab, which features the versus player, and then versus AI, which features human versus computer allies, and selecting difficulties. We have the queue and what that is. We have the draft screen. We talk about pick order, role selection, and icons, hero selection, and then and the fact that you should be flexible. We have team composition, support, marauder, tank, ability damage, hero, and frontline fighter, differentiating from that standard, and then experimenting with team composition. We have selecting custom decks, movement speed penalties in game, strafing and backpedaling, and attacking, and how these don't stack. Lane minion types, the melee, range, siege, and super, and the damage, relative damage, and tankiness. We have the difference in gold when executing those different types. We have the ping system, all 4 ping trees and sub trees of that, and that you'll require some practice and patience in mastering the ping system. We have the healthy learning mindset, with taking small incremental steps towards success and being patient about it, and then a healthy community, having healthy community engagements, the humanity in making mistakes, not forgetting that, and positive feedback, and simply just to have fun. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. The link to this document will be down in the video description. A lot of you guys have been asking what you can do for Paragon and for the community, and at this point, share your ideas. Share this. That would be a way to help. Share this with share this with Epic employees, share this just in the community, and just not to maybe get this particular document noticed, but simply the fact that tutorials is so important. Tutorials, they're the basis. They're, you can't just throw somebody into a complex genre like a MOBA and expect them to thrive and be really invested in and have that hook really sink in those players. So if you want to help with player retention and getting new players into this, I would highly suggest you guys share this, or just hammer home the fact that we need a legitimate tutorial system. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Please like this video if you like it, guys. Dislike share with the community. Of course, guys, subscribe because like this content, especially if you found it useful. Please subscribe so I can do it for you in the future. Check the video description for all my links to my website, then this document, all my social media, etc., right here. Again, huge shout out to all my Patreon supporters, Twitch subscribers, and YouTube sponsors. You guys are doing amazing work. You guys do give me amazing support. So thank you very, very much for what you all do. Until next time, like always, stay optimistic and positive.